Devas. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, wanted to seek the blessing of Radha Madhav, Radha Shyamsundar, Krishna Balaram, Bal Gopal, Nrsimhadev, Bhagavan Jagannath, Baladeshwara, Gaunitai, Tulsimani, Haridas Thakur, Guru Parampara, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the assembled devotees. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, chapter 88. There are 90 chapters in this canto, so hopefully we will try to finish the remaining 3 today. So, chapter 88 is Lord Shiva saved from Vrakasura. This chapter describes how it is that the devotees of Vishnu obtain liberation, while the devotees of other deities obtain material opulences. Lord Vishnu possesses all opulences, while Lord Shiva lives in poverty. Yet the devotees of Vishnu are personally poverty-stricken. And Sudama is an example. While Shiva's devotees attain abundant wealth. When Maharaj Pariksit asked Sukadeva Goswami to explain this puzzling fact, as the results attained by the worshippers of these two lords of opposite characters are contrary to what one would expect. You'd expect Vishnu's devotee to be rich and Shiva's devotee to be poor because that's how they are. But the sage replied as follows. Lord Shiva manifests as false ego in 3 varieties, according to the 3 modes of material nature. From this false ego arises the 5 physical elements and the other transformations of material nature, totaling 16. When a devotee of Lord Shiva worships his manifestation in any of these elements, the devotee obtains all sorts of corresponding enjoyable opulences. But because Lord Sri Hari is transcendental to the modes of material nature, his devotees also become transcendental. So Lord Shiva is still within this material realm because when Vishnu wants to touch this world, he turns into Shiva. So naturally, Lord Shiva's devotees will be worshipping him for material benefits. But Lord Hari, Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, he's beyond the 3 modes of material nature. So his devotees will be worshipping the Supreme, who is beyond these 3 modes. So at the end of the performance of his Ashwamedha sacrifice, King Yudhishthir had asked the same question of Krishna. This question pleased Sri Krishna, who had descended into the family of Yadus for the purpose of bestowing the highest good on all men. The Lord replied as follows, as the king eagerly listened. When I feel special compassion for someone, I gradually deprive him of his wealth. Then the poverty-stricken man's children, wife, and other relations all abandon him. When he again tries to acquire wealth in order to win back his family's favor, I mercifully frustrate him so that he becomes disgusted with fruitive activities, fruitive work, and befriends my devotees. He can then fully realize the Absolute as the highest truth. And at that time, I bestow upon him my extraordinary grace. Then he can become freed from the bondage of material life and attain to the kingdom of God, Vaikuntha. So this sounds cruel, but it's cruel to be kind. Lord takes everything away and makes that devotee surrender unto him, not by force, through love. Because I am difficult to worship, people generally avoid me and instead worship other deities who are quickly satisfied. When people receive opulences from these deities, they become arrogant, intoxicated with pride, neglectful of their duties. They dare to offend even the demigods who have bestowed benedictions upon them. This is the problem with obtaining opulence, wealth. We become proud. Sukadeva Goswami said, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva can each bestow or withhold favors. But whereas Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are satisfied or angered very quickly, Lord Vishnu is not. In this regard, an ancient historical account is related concerning how the Lord of Kailash mountain was put into danger by offering a choice of benedictions to the demon Vrika. This is wonderful, Lord Shiva. Once the demon Vrika asked Narad which god was most quickly pleased, and Narad answered that Lord Shiva was, as he quickly becomes pleased by seeing his worshippers slight good qualities, but also quickly angered by seeing his slightest fault. He became pleased with Ravan and also with Bana when they each chanted his glories. Lord Shiva then bestowed unprecedented power upon each of them. Thus Vrkasura went to the holy place of Kedarnath and began worshipping Lord Shiva by offering pieces of his own flesh as oblations onto the fire. But Shiva did not appear. Vrkasura became frustrated after failing to obtain a vision of the Lord. Finally, on the seventh day, Vrika decided to commit suicide by cutting off his head. Just at that critical moment, Lord Shiva appeared from the sacrificial fire and stopped him. By Lord Shiva's touch, Vrkasura once again became whole. So he was cutting his flesh, offering it to the fire. And then Shiva did not appear, so he wanted to give his own head into the fire. But Shiva stopped him. Shiva said to him, "My friend, please stop. Stop. Ask from me whatever you want, and I will bestow that upon you, that boon upon you. Alas, you have subjected your body to great torment for no reason, since I am pleased with a simple offering of water from those who approach me for shelter." The benediction sinful Vrika chose from the Lord would terrify all living beings. Vrika said, "May death come to whoever I touch upon the head with my hand." Whoa. There you go. Vrikasura about to commit suicide. Shiva comes and stops him. Lord Shiva, although somewhat disturbed, granted Vrika the benediction with an ironic smile as if giving milk to a poisonous snake. At once the wicked Vrika tried to test the benediction by putting his hand on the Lord's head. Terrified, Shiva fled for his life, running as far as heaven and the outer limits of the mortal world. The great demigods could only remain silent, not knowing whether to counteract the benediction. Finally, the Lord reached the planet of Shvetadweep. This is Lord Vishnu, the realm which is the destination of renunciants who have attained peace and given up all violence against other creatures, where Lord Vishnu resides. Seeing the desperate Shiva from afar, the Lord, by his mystic Yogamaya potency, assumed the form of a brahmachari student with the appropriate belt, deerskin, rod, and prayer beads, and came before Vrikasura. So Vishnu came in front of Vrikasura. Right? Disguised as a brahmachari. The Lord's effulgence glowed brilliantly like fire. Holding kusha grass in his hand, he humbly greeted the demon. In a sweet voice, he addressed the demon. "My dear Vrika, please rest a while and tell us what you intend to do." Vrika was charmed by the Lord's words and revealed what had happened. The Lord said, "Ever since Lord Shiva was cursed by Prajapati Daksha, he has become just like a carnivorous hobgoblin. So you shouldn't trust his word. Better to test his benediction by putting your hand on your own head." So Lord Vishnu was trying to fool Vrikasura. That, hey, this Shiva, he doesn't have any power. Try it yourself. Lord Vishnu continued, if the words of Lord Shambhu prove untrue in any way, then kill the liar, as he may never speak, so he may never speak lie again. Bewildered by these words, the foolish demon touched his own head, which immediately shattered and fell to the ground. Cries of victory, obeisances, and well done were heard from the sky, and the demigods, sages, celestial forefathers, Gandharvas, all congratulated the Supreme Lord by raining down flowers upon him. The Supreme Personality of Godhead then addressed Lord Girisha, that's Shiva, who was now out of danger. Just see, O Mahadev, my Lord, how this wicked man has been killed by his own sinful reactions. Indeed, what living being can hope for good fortune if he offends saintly, exalted saints? What to speak of offending the Lord and the spiritual master of the universe? This is a very interesting point. Shiva is considered a Lord and also the spiritual master of the universe. Lord Hari is directly manifest, absolute truth, the supreme soul, an unlimited ocean of inconceivable energies. Anyone who recites or hears this pastime of his saving Lord Shiva will be freed from all enemies and the repetition of birth and death. So this is a very phenomenal pastime because it shows the merciful nature of Shiva, but also it shows the power of Vishnu. So, chapter 89, Krishna and Arjun retrieve a Brahman's sons. This chapter describes how Bhrigu Muni proved the supremacy of Lord Vishnu and how Lord Krishna and Arjun recovered the dead sons of an aggrieved Brahman in Dwarka. Once long ago, on the shore of the river Saraswati, a discussion arose amongst a group of sages who were performing a Vedic sacrifice as to which of the three chief lords, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, the Trimurti, is the greatest, the supreme. They deputed Bhrigu Muni, Lord Brahma's son, to investigate the matter. Bhrigu Muni decided to test the Lord's tolerance, for that quality is a sure sign of greatness. First, he entered the court of Lord Brahma to test how well Lord Brahma was situated in the mode of goodness. Bhrigu failed to bow down to him or glorify him with prayers. So that was a very small offense, right? Didn't bow down to him. The Lord became angry at him. Brahma became angry, inflamed into fury by his own passion. Though anger towards his son was now rising within his heart, Lord Brahma was able to subdue it by applying his intelligence in the same way that fire is extinguished by its own product, water. Interesting. So, how is fire the own water? Because when the sun shines, it gives rise, the water evaporates, turned into cloud, which gives more rain. So the sunshine is responsible for the water. Bhrigu then went to Kailash, Mount Kailash. There Lord Shiva stood up and happily came forward to embrace his younger brother. But Bhrigu refused his embrace, telling him, "You are a deviant heretic." i.e., you're not clean, you wear ashes all over you, you got snakes around you. At this, Lord Shiva became angry and his eyes burned ferociously. He raised his trident and was about to kill Bhrigu when Goddess Parvati Devi fell at his feet and spoke some words to pacify him. So Brahma, he didn't pay obeisances. Shiva, he insulted him by his words, right? Brigu then left that place and went to Vaikuntha, where Lord Janardhan resides. There he went up to the Supreme Lord, who was lying with his head on the lap of his consort, Shri or Lakshmi, and kicked him on the chest. Whoa. The Lord then arose along with Goddess Lakshmi as a sign of respect, coming down from his bedstead, bowing his head, and he told the sage, "Please sit down and rest a while. Kindly forgive me, dear master, for not noticing your arrival. Please purify me, my realm, and the realms of the universe, rulers devoted to me by giving us the water that has washed your feet. This holy water is indeed what makes all places of pilgrimage sacred. Today, my lord, I have become the exclusive shelter of the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, because she will consent to reside on my chest, because your foot has rid it of sins." Wow. So Lord Vishnu really gives so much credit to the devotees, to Bhrigu Maharaj, for kicking him in the chest. Bhrigu felt satisfied and delighted to hear the solemn words spoken by Lord Vaikuntha. Overwhelmed with devotional ecstasy, he remained silent, his eyes brimming with tears. So this is Bhrigu Muni kicking the Lord at the chest. The Lord didn't get angry at all. In fact, at one point he said, "Oh, your feet must be aching because my chest is so hard. Let me massage your feet." Bhrigu then returned to the sacrificial arena of the wise Vedic authorities and described the entire experience to them. Amazed upon hearing Bhrigu's account, the sages were freed from all doubts and became convinced that Vishnu is the greatest Lord. The learned Brahmins living along this river Saraswati came to this conclusion in order to dispel the doubts of all people. Thereafter, they rendered devotional service to the Supreme Lord's lotus feet and attained his abode. From Vishnu comes peace, fearlessness, the essential principles of religion, detachment with knowledge, the eightfold powers of mystic yoga, and his glorification, which cleanses the mind of all impurities. Interesting. So, moving on to another pastime. Once in Dwarka, a Brahman's wife gave birth to a son who immediately died. The Brahman took his dead son to the court.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhupada.
I just didn't understand about who was Bhrigu.
Bhrigu is a Muni. He's a sage, a great sage, Bhrigu Muni. And he was given this task of checking who is the best out of Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva. So he went to all three of them and he insulted Brahma by not paying his dandavats, pranams. And Brahma got angry. He insulted Shiva by his words that you are a heretic, you're dirty, you got ashes all over you. So I won't hug you. And Shiva got angry. But Vishnu, he kicked him in the chest. But Vishnu said, "Oh, your foot must be hurting because my chest is so hard."
All right. And he was just a sage, yeah?
He was a great sage, yeah.
Sage, yeah. All right. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
And from this, it was realized that Vishnu is the greatest.
Krishna.
Anyway, yeah.
Carry on.
Brahmin took his dead son to the court of King Ugrasen and berated the king. This duplicitous, greedy enemy of Brahmins has caused my son's death by failing to execute his duties properly. So this Brahmin's son had died. The Brahmin went to the king and said, "It's your fault. It's your fault." The same misfortune continued to befall the Brahmin, and each time he would bring his dead infant's body to the royal court and berate the king. When the ninth son died at birth, Arjun, who was near Lord Keshav, happened to hear the Brahmin's complaint, and he said, My lord, the rulers of a kingdom in which a Brahmin lament over lost wealth, wives, and children are merely impostors, playing the role of kings just to earn their livelihood. I will protect your progeny, and if I fail to keep my promise, I will enter fire to atone for my sins. So Arjun said to the Brahmin, I will protect your next son. Don't worry, whoever comes. And if I can't protect him, I will kill myself. The Brahmin said, neither Shankar's son Vasudev, Pradyumna, the best of bowmen, nor Anirudh could save my sons. Then why do you naively attempt a feat that the almighty lords of the universe could not perform? We cannot take you seriously. Shri Arjun said, I am Arjun, the wielder of Gandiva bow. Do not minimize my ability, which was good enough to satisfy Lord Shiva. O Brahman, I will bring back your sons, dear master, even if I have to defeat death himself in battle. Thus convinced by Arjun, O tormentor of enemies, the Brahman went home, satisfied by having heard Arjun's declaration of his prowess. So what happened? Some time later, the Brahman's wife was about to give birth for the 10th time. When Arjun learned of this, he went to the maternity house, enveloped it with a protective cage of arrows. Arjun's efforts were to no avail, however, for as soon as the child was born and began to cry, it disappeared into the sky. Shish. As the Brahmin profusely derided Arjun, the warrior employed a mystical incantation to go at once to Samyamani, the city of heaven, where Lord Yamdev resides, and thus he set off. But Arjun did not find the brahmachari's son there. He went to the cities of Indra, Agni, Nriti, Soma, Vayu, and Varun. With weapons at the ready, he searched through all domains of the universe, from the bottom of the subterranean region to the roof of heaven. And even after searching throughout the 14 worlds, he could not find any trace of the infant. Oh man, what happened? Finally, not having found the Brahman's son anywhere, Arjun decided to enter the sacred fire, because that's what he promised, having failed to keep his promise. Just as he was about to do so, Lord Krishna stopped him and said, I will show you the Brahman's sons. So please don't despise yourself like this. These same men who now criticize us will soon establish our spotless fame. Lord Krishna then took Arjun into his transcendental chariot, and the two of them crossed over the 7 universal islands with their 7 oceans, passed over Lokaloka Mandir, a mountain range, and entered the region of dense darkness. Since the horses could not find their way, Krishna sent his blazing Sudarshan disc ahead to pierce the gloom. That disc shone like thousands of suns, penetrating the darkness with its bright, blazing effulgence. Following the Sudarshan disc, the chariot went beyond the darkness and reached the endless spiritual light of all-pervasive Brahmajyoti. From that region, they entered a body of water, resplendent with huge waves being churned by a mighty wind. Within that ocean, Arjun saw an amazing palace, more radiant than anything he had ever seen before. His beauty was enhanced by thousands of ornamental pillars decked with brilliant gems. In that palace was the huge, awe-inspiring serpent Anantashesh, who shone brilliantly. Arjun then saw the omnipotent and omnipresent Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mahavishnu, seated at ease on his serpent bed. So this is a description of Mahavishnu. He's seated at ease on his serpent bed. His bluish complexion was the color of a dense rain cloud. He wore a beautiful yellow garment. His face looked charming. His eyes, broad eyes, were most attractive. And he had 8 long, handsome arms. His profuse locks of hair were bathed on all sides in his brilliance, reflected from the clusters of precious jewels decorating his crown and earrings. He wore the Kastuba gem, the mark of Shivatsa, and a garland of forest flowers. Serving that topmost of all lords were his personal attendants, headed by Sunanda and Nanda, his chakra and other weapons in their personified forms, his consort potencies, Pushti, Shri, Kirti, and Aja, and all various mystic powers. This is phenomenal description. Lord Krishna offered homage to himself in his boundless form. To safeguard the special sanctity of his human-like pastimes as Krishna, he offered obeisances to his own plenary expansion. This is extraordinary. Arjuna, astonished at the sight of Lord Mahavishnu, bowed down as well. Then, as the two of them stood before him with folded palms, the Almighty Mahavishnu, Supreme Master of all rulers of the universe, smiled and spoke to them in a voice full of solemn authority. The great Lord smiles and greeted Lord Shri Krishna and Arjun, saying, I brought the Brahman sons here simply because I wanted to see the two of you. So even Mahavishnu wants to see Krishna. Please continue to benedict the people in general by exemplifying religious behavior in your forms of Nara, Narayan, Rishi. Nara is Arjun, Narayan is Krishna. After bowing down to the Almighty Lord Mahavishnu, Lord Krishna and Arjun then took the Brahman's sons and went back to Dwarka and presented the Brahman with his sons, who were in the same infant bodies in which they were lost. Wow. Lord Mahavishnu spoke in such a way as to bewilder Arjun in obedience to Sri Krishna's intention. His smile hinted at his private thoughts, while Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has revealed for our benefit. My dear Krishna, by your desire I will describe my superiority even though I am your expansion. So Mahavishnu is the expansion of Krishna. He is an avatar of Krishna. Having seen the domain of Lord Vishnu, Arjun was totally amazed. He concluded that whatever extraordinary power a person exhibits can only be a manifestation of Sri Krishna's mercy. Lord Krishna exhibited many other similar heroic pastimes in this world. He apparently enjoyed the pleasures of ordinary human life, and he performed great potent fire sacrifices. The Lord, having demonstrated his supremacy at suitable times, he showered down all desirable things upon the Brahmins and his other subjects, such as Indra pours down the rain. So the final chapter, number 90, summary of Lord Krishna's glories. So this is going to summarize. This chapter describes how Lord Krishna enjoyed with his queens in the lakes of Dwarka. It also relates the queen's ecstatic prayers in the mood of intense separation from him and summarizes the Lord's pastimes. So Lord Krishna continued to reside in his opulent capital of Dwarka. Together with the Yadus and his queens, he would enjoy sporting with his wives in the ponds on the palace grounds, squirting water on them with a syringe and being squirted in turn. With his graceful gestures, loving words, and sidelong glances, he would enchant their hearts. In this way, the queens would become totally absorbed in thoughts of him. Sometimes, after playing with the Lord in the water, they would address various creatures, Kurari, Chakravaka, birds, the ocean, the moon, a cloud, a cuckoo, a mountain, a river, and so on, declaring their great attachment to Sri Krishna on the pretext of commiserating with these creatures. So they would say, "Oh, Kukari bird, Kurari, bird. You are wide awake, O friend, unable to fall asleep. Is it like us you have had your heart pierced to the core by the Lord's playful, smiling glances? The dear ocean, you're always roaring, not sleeping at night. Are you suffering insomnia? Or is it that, as with us, Mukunda has taken your insignia and you are hopeless in retrieving them? O revered cloud, your heart is distraught with great eagerness, and as you remember him again and again, you shed a torrent of tears. Association with Krishna brings such misery. They're actually sarcastic, of course. O rivers, are you then like us who are withering away because of not receiving the affectionate glance of our dear husband, the Lord of Madhu, who has cheated our hearts? By thus speaking and acting with such ecstatic love for Lord Krishna, the master of all masters of mystic yoga, his loving wives attained the ultimate goal of life. The Lord forcibly attracts the minds of all women who simply hear about him. What to speak then of those women who see him directly? How could one possibly describe the great authorities that have been performed, austerities that have been performed by the women who perfectly served him in pure ecstatic love? Observing the principles of duty enunciated in the Vedas, Lord Krishna, the goal of saintly devotees, repeatedly demonstrated how one can achieve at home the objectives of religiosity, economic development, and regulated sense gratification, while fulfilling the highest standards of religious household life. Lord Krishna maintained more than 16,100 wives. Lord Krishna begot 10 sons in the womb of each of his queens. Sure. Among those sons, all possessing unlimited valor, 18 were Maharathas of great Padumna, Anirudh, Diptiman, Bhanu, Shambhu, Madhu, Brihad Bhanu, Chitra Bhanu, Vrika, Aruna, Pushkar, Ved Bahu, Shutadev, Sunandana, Chitrabhanu, Virupa, Kavi, and Nyagrodha. Among these sons, Padumna was the foremost, being equal to his father in all transcendental qualities. Padumna married Rukmi's daughter, and from her womb, Anirudh was born. Anirudh then married Rukmi's granddaughter and begat Vraja, who was the only Yadu prince to survive the battle of iron clubs at Prabhash. So we will talk about that in the 11th canto. From Vajra descended the remainder of the Yadu dynasty, beginning with Pratibhanu, Bahu. No one born in his family was poor in wealth or property, short-lived, weak, or neglectful of Brahminical culture. The Yadu dynasty produced innumerable great men of famous deeds. The Yadu family employed 38,800,000 teachers just to educate their children. My goodness. Who can count all the great Yadavas? Who among them King Ugrasen alone was accompanied by an entourage of innumerable attendants. Before Lord Krishna appeared, the savage descendants of Diti, who had been killed in past ages in battles between the demigods and demons, took birth among human beings and arrogantly harassed the general populace. To subdue them, the Lord ordered the demigods to descend into the Yadu dynasty, which then expanded into 101 clans. All of the Yadus recognized Sri Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead and had unflinching faith in him. While resting, eating, walking, and so on, which they did often in his company, they would be absorbed in happiness. The heavenly Ganga is a holy place of pilgrimage because her waters wash Lord Krishna's feet. But when the Lord descended amongst the Yadus, who regarded him as their guide, his glories eclipsed the Ganga as a holy place. Both those who hated Krishna and those who loved Krishna attained eternal forms in the spiritual world. His name destroys all auspiciousness when heard or chanted. This is why he is regarded as neutral. He doesn't have friends or enemies because even his enemies get liberated. The 10th canto concludes with with this promise of success for the sincere hearer. By regular hearing, chanting, meditating on the beautiful topics of Lord Mukunda, with ever increasing sincerity, a mortal being will attain the divine kingdom of the Lord, while the inviolable power of death holds no sway. For this purpose, many persons, including great kings, abandoned their homes and took to the forest. So that's the end of the 10th canto. 10th canto Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan Ki Jai. Yes, Shamarani?
Prabhu? Yeah,
Yes.
you know King Ugrasena.
Hmm.
That's Lord Krishna.
No,
No.
Ugrasena is separate from Krishna. He was, he was the father of Kamsa, and he was originally the king of Mathura, and Krishna made him the king of Dwaka and the king of the Yadus. So he's Ugrasena
Okay.
is a very wise, ancient personality who Krishna
So,
himself worship. Yes,
oh, so he's the father of King Kamsa, yeah?
yes, that's correct.
Wow.
That's correct. So Krishna's great uncle. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. His mama, no? So Krishna's mama,
Hmm.
Kamsa.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ugrasen was he was imprisoned by Kamsa, but then Krishna made him the king.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Very powerful personality. Mm.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Okay, if there's nothing else, we can stop then. Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah, sorry, one
Yes, yes.
because Mataji was saying, so I didn't say anything.
Sure, 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 sure.
Yeah, you said something about this Brahman.
Hmm.
The children were taken by somebody. Was that right?
Mahavishnu.
Vishnu.
Mahavishnu took him. Yes.
So how many children were
10,
taken?
10,
How many?
10,
10.
10
All
children.
right. And then when Krishna and Arjun went there, and they were with Vishnu.
Hmm.
That's the story. I really liked it.
Yes.
The way you explain it, because Arjun went so many places, he couldn't find it. Then he said he will burn himself, and then Krishna
That's
comes,
it. That's it.
and then he takes him there,
Correct.
and then all the 10 sons come back.
Yes. Krishna brings him back. And
And
Vishnu only
one minute. And
go, go.
who was that Brahman?
Oh no, that we don't know. No
Oh,
name is given. So that
okay.
Brahman is a resident of Vrindavan.
All
Yeah.
right. Nice. That was very interesting,
Yeah, no,
Is
thank you.
it?
Yes. Yeah.
And today's episode was quite interesting anyway.
No, thank you so
Thank you.
Thank you for taking part. Thank you so much. Huh?
Prabhu, I suppose this chapter, Canto 10, is a very important one. Eh?
Yes, 90 chapters. That's the biggest
Yeah.
canto. And now we'll do 11 and 12. Hopefully, we'll do, in the next few days.
So is this Srimad Bhagavat you have already started, and it has got 90 canto. Is that what you're
No,
saying?
no, it's got 12 cantos. In canto number 10, which we just finished, there's 90 chapters. That's the biggest one.
The biggest one. Now tomorrow we do.
We start with canto 11 now.
Okay. I think tomorrow I am out,
Okay.
and Friday also I'm out, so I miss them.
Okay.
But I will
Yes.
do it in YouTube.
Thank you very much. Very good.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam Puran ki jai.